Amy, are you on?
Yes, Chairman.
We about ready to go?
Yep, looks like we have a quorum.
We have a quorum and we have time.
Yes.
What time you got, Wiley?
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock. Before we actually call the meeting to order, I'm going to have some instructions read to you all, and then we'll get the meeting going. So if you would, ma'am, start off for us.
Is Kathy reading the instructions?
I don't think I got them, but let me check really quick.
Good afternoon, Kathy.
Sorry, I didn't. Didn't realize I was reading this. I can't find where Lacey sent me the instructions. I'm
Lacey,
sorry.
you email Kathy or I the instructions?
Yeah, I
Pardon me?
forwarded this to you, Kathy.
What?
I just forwarded them to you in your email. I can read them though if you like.
Why don't you go ahead and read them? I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Amy Simpson will read some instructions off to us, and then we'll get ready to open up our meetings. Amy, if you would.
Lacey Kelly has them. She's going to read them for us.
Oh,
Go
okay.
ahead.
Lacey.
Trustees, secretary, and municipal counselor, please remain unmuted during the meeting. Other participants and staff are to remain on mute until recognized by the chair or manager. If you are calling into the meeting, please mute and unmute your phone using *6. If the video conference is disconnected at any time during the meeting shall be stopped and reconvene once the connection is restored. If communication is unable to be restored within 15 minutes, and if communications cannot be restored, the meeting will reconvene on March 30, 2021 at 5:00 p.m. Anyone wishing to speak about an item or to be included in the citizens to be heard portion at the end of the meeting should call 405-297-2245 or text 405-219-7987 or email lacy.kelly@okc.gov. Please submit your request now to avoid receipt of your request after the item has been considered. The agenda and attachments are available online at okc.gov. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Lacey. Well done. Let's call the meeting to order. And the first item on our agenda is a resolution. Who is going to read the resolution?
Amy, would you like to read it?
Yes, I will.
Go right ahead.
Whereas Larry McAtee has served as a trustee of the Oklahoma City Economic Development Trust since its inception in 2007, and has served as chairman of the Oklahoma City Economic Development Trust since March 28, 2015. And whereas Chairman McAtee is a graduate of New York University and Princeton University, a member of the West Oklahoma City Rotary Club, a published author, and a vital member of the Oklahoma City civic community. And whereas during his tenure as the Oklahoma City Economic Development Trust chairman, Chairman McAtee has worked with various trustees, business community leaders, and city staff to further economic development initiatives for Oklahoma City. And whereas Chairman McAtee has provided much insight, education, and mentoring to city staff as the chairman of the Oklahoma City Economic Development Trust that will be carried on in the future. And whereas Chairman McAtee's diligence and integrity in presiding over the Oklahoma City Economic Development Trust matters was evidenced through his careful consideration. And whereas Chairman McAtee has been a champion for the development of manufacturing jobs in Oklahoma City, providing more opportunities for quality industrial employment that strengthen the local economy. And whereas Chairman McAtee has played a role in the Oklahoma City Renaissance through his support of economic development initiatives for Oklahoma City, and has furthered these initiatives through his leadership and support in the redevelopment of the Skirvin Hotel, the development of the OKC outlets, the development of the Omni Hotel, and the redevelopment of the historic First National Center. Now therefore be it resolved by the trustees of the Oklahoma City Economic Development Trust that they do hereby thank and commend Larry McAtee for his many years of dedicated service to the Oklahoma City Economic Development Trust and wish him the very best.
Thank you, ma'am. We're going to not use PrimeGov to this afternoon. We're going to have Amy read, open up the vote and call the roll. So Amy, at this time, would you please call the roll and ask for a motion? We're looking for a motion on the resolution that was just read.
So move.
And I'll second.
Trustee Hooper, how do you vote?
Yes.
Trustee Roth, how do you vote?
Yes.
Trustee Stone, how do you vote?
Yes.
Trustee Campos, how do you vote?
Yes.
And Chairman McAtee, how do you vote?
Yes.
The motion carries.
And the motion carries. Thank you all.
Can we,
May
can we
we
take
make
a,
a comment?
yeah,
Go
can we
ahead,
take a
Kathy.
few minutes for everybody to make some comments? I know that I'm going to let the trust members go first, but I'd also like to say a few things as well.
All right, let's have an open forum. If just give me your name when you want to talk, and we'll go through until we're ready to start the rest of the program.
Rhonda?
Chairman McAtee, you have been an amazing leader. Thank you for being a champion for this city, for the city council, for this trust. You've kept us on point. You keep the conversations in a very dynamic and healthy way. You have interchange of ideas and so on, and it's been a major pleasure to serve under your leadership. And thank you for everything you've done, and will continue to do, whether you're on this or not. You will always be in our hearts.
Well, from a former president of the Chamber of Commerce, I thank you for those kind comments, Rhonda.
You betcha.
If I could add a word, to borrow from Ms. Hooper's fitting tribute, we're going to miss you, Larry. You've been a fabulous leader. You've got such a vision for growing the city in a kind and heartful way of not leaving people behind as well, which I admire about you. I think we first met at a Musgrave Pennington neighborhood picnic.
That was a long time ago. Yes, sir.
Around 2002, and I immediately fell in love with Joanne, and I'm thankful that you've had such a great partner in life with her. But just wanted to say thank you for having been a gentleman in public service, the way that you've honored your constituents, the way that you've honored this trust in the city. So there's not enough words to say it, but you really are just a person of high character, and we appreciate you.
Well, thank you. Reciprocal comments. You've walked through some dangerous waters in your career, always been a man of integrity and done a great service to the citizens of Oklahoma. So it's a privilege to know you, Jim. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Councilman Stone, did you want to say anything? Or did you already say everything this morning?
Well, let's see. We had the airport trust meeting, and the chairman was there, and the city council meeting, and now economic development trust, and the chairman is again here. So really just real quickly to reiterate, I only mentioned those three things to kind of illustrate like how big of a piece of this city that Councilman McAtee is. And you know, just to echo everyone else's words, your civility is certainly something that I treasure. I know will be greatly missed, and your leadership and your dedication to the citizens of this city are second to none. And I just really appreciate all your years of service. I have no idea how you did it, because we all know it can be exhausting at times, but really do appreciate everything, Larry.
Thank you, Todd.
Trustee Campos, did you want to say anything, or you've only been with us?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am more of the newer one, but I have definitely followed Mr. McAtee's work and all that you have done in the city, and I have definitely been aware. So thank you for your service and for allowing me to be a part of this.
Thank you and welcome to the trust. You'll enjoy working with these people. They're a fine bunch.
Kathy, I'd like to add a few words. Larry, it's been a pleasure to serve with you all these years, and I'm especially going to miss our trips to Stroud for our IMSA meetings. I've learned a lot about you. You're a fine Christian man. You married a wonderful woman who's kept you in line and been your partner through life. And you have taught me a lot on the political spectrum, and your views and your manner of presentation has always been intriguing to me, and I've learned a lot, and you will be missed.
Thank you, Wally. We have enjoyed some good trips up to Stroud to handle the MC board requirements.
Councilman McAtee, if I can, I'd just like to say a few things. You are one of our original Economic Development Trust members, and you've been with us through creating something from nothing. The Strategic Investment Program didn't exist until 2007. So I think Brent and I probably really appreciate your patience with us and your willingness to take a chance and be creative, but always holding us to the same standards and principles that have made the program so successful. And that's pay for performance and accountability. Nobody gets their money until they create the jobs. And I can't help but thank you for that level of consistency and leadership that you provided to the program, especially in the early days. You know, the interesting thing about you is that you always like to play the devil's advocate. And Brett and I have had more than one meeting with you where you're like, well, if you thought about this, and we're like, oh, we didn't think about that. And I really always appreciated that and have learned a lot from you through the years. I also am going to miss you on the Oklahoma City Redevelopment Authority. You guys may not know this, but Larry is also a trustee of the Redevelopment Authority. And we will miss him there as well. And so thank you very much for your service. You are a role model for all of us, and really appreciate all that you've done for me and for economic development in Oklahoma City.
Thank you, Kathy.
Could I say a few things? Councilman? Sure. I just wanted to tell, I know I'm kind of, I've been away a while. Y'all are in good hands with Joanna now, but I just wanted to tell you that I told Councilman McAtee this the other day that what I learned from him is he made me a better employee. He made me a better public servant, because I knew when I needed to take something to him, I better know my stuff, because he's going to ask questions, and he'd ask the right questions. He asked good questions. And I told him that now as finance director, I try to emulate that with my staff to ask them the right questions, so they'll be better employees and we'll, and always be thinking about things like that. He's been a great example. You're going to be sorely missed, but I really do appreciate all your mentoring you did for me over the years, and wish you nothing but the best. And you do have a great one in Joanne. So, and I know the people of Fawn Valley out in southwestern Oklahoma City love you. So just take care.
Well, good. Thank you, Brent. It was a pleasure to serve the folks out in Fawn Valley, and Joanne and I enjoyed our trips out there and listening to the challenges that the folks in the sparse southwestern part of our city face. I think that gets us to the next point on our agenda, and that's to approve the minutes of the February 16th, 2021 Oklahoma City Economic Development Trust meeting. I'll entertain a motion and a second to accept the minutes.
I'll move the minutes.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Trustee Hooper, how do you vote?
Aye.
Trustee Roth, how do you vote?
Aye.
Trustee Stone, how do you vote?
Aye.
Trustee Campos, how do you vote? She has her video off, so I'm going to record that as an absent. Chairman McAtee, how do you vote?
Yes.
The motion passes.
Thank you all. Next on our agenda is to ratify the OCCEDT claims. Look for a motion and a second on to receive the claims.
So move.
Second,
I'm sorry, who seconded?
Jim Roth.
Thank you.
We have a motion to second. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, please cast your votes.
Trustee Hooper, how do you vote?
Aye.
Trustee Roth?
Aye.
Trustee Stone?
Aye.
Trustee Campos?
Aye.
Chairman McAtee?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you all. Next now are items needing individual consideration. Kathy, if you would, the first one is the Barcade Dog Park project.
Yes, the economic development agreement with Boathouse Barquet LLC required that they come back to us and designate who the developer would be once that was identified. When we first entered into the agreement, we did not know that, and when we made the TIF allocation. So the developer for the project is a new LLC that's created that's called Boathouse Barquet LLC, and they will serve as the developer. And I believe that it's a joint partnership between Rose Rock Development and the Pivot Project. So they have joined together to serve as the developer on this project. And just as a reminder, the economic development agreement approved $750,000 in TIF assistance for this project in September of 2020.
Thank you, Kathy. Any questions from the trustees?
I would move approval of the item.
We have a motion to approve
Second.
and a second. Please call the roll.
Trustee Hooper, how do you vote?
Aye.
Trustee Roth?
Aye.
Trustee Stone?
Aye.
Trustee Campos?
Aye.
Chairman McAtee?
Aye. Thank you.
Motion
Next on the agenda is the second addendum to the Economic Development Agreement for redevelopment of the Lantana Apartments. Kathy, if you would, please.
And this addendum amends the agreement by declaring the forgivable loan that Hartford made with the Economic Development Trust as forgiven and satisfied in exchange for Hartford's payment of $14,709.96, which amounts to the total monthly payments due from August 2019 until the actual project completion in 2020. And Joanna, I don't know if you have anything else you wanted to add to this, but this was an agreement that the city entered into to rehabilitate some apartments on Northwest 10th Street that were in very, very, very bad shape and had become a problem for the fire department and the police department and all of our public safety first responders.
Yeah, I don't have anything to add unless anybody has any questions. I'd be happy to answer those.
So Chairman, just one question I wanted to confirm. The work is now complete. Is that correct? As I understood the resolution, the pandemic had some delays, but the work is now confirmed as complete?
Right.
Correct.
Okay.
And if
Thank
you
you.
want to see a miracle and what can happen, Councilman Griner spearheaded the project to rehabilitate that area. It's unbelievable what they've accomplished and how they've made something out of nothing and how they solved a number of safety and moral problems out there. Everybody who was involved should be very, very proud of themselves for the effort and the results of that particular project.
I'm glad to know that. Thank you. I would move approval then of the second addendum.
We have a motion to approve.
This is Miriam. I'll second.
Second. Any comments or questions from any of the trustees? Seeing none, please cast your votes.
Trustee Hooper, how do you vote?
Aye.
Trustee Roth,
Aye.
trustee Stone,
Aye.
trustee Campos,
Aye.
Chairman McAtee.
Aye.
The motion passes.
Thank you all. Next up on our agenda is accept some deeds and declaration of covenants for a couple of parcels of land. Kathy, if you would please explain.
Yeah, these are fairly typical deeds for declaration of covenants for the parcels where the Homeland Grocery Store is under construction. They've been executed by the developer and the by 36 and Lincoln LLC, which is the developer, and HLD Grocery LLC, which is the leveraged lender on the on this project. They set out the covenants that are related to the receipt of $3.5 million in tax increment financing to support the project, include a minimum tax payment that we typically require on all of our tax increment financing transactions.
Any comments or questions from the trustees?
Mr. Chairman, just one question for Kathy, if I might. Just, as
Right
I
ahead, sir.
understood it, Kathy, the covenants run through the duration of the increment district itself, is that right? And then the property would be unburdened?
I might have to ask Wiley, but I think, yes, yes, they run the length of the increment district.
Well, potentially they run the length of the district. If they pay off, since we're giving them the money, once they pay off that amount of money, it stops.
Gotcha.
Their covenant would end.
Thank you, that helps. Thank you.
Any other comments or questions?
I'd like to move the item, please.
We have a motion,
Second.
a second. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, please cast your vote as the secretary calls the roll.
Trustee Hooper, how do you vote?
Aye.
Trustee Roth,
Aye.
trustee Stone,
Aye.
trustee Campos,
Aye.
Chairman McAtee.
Aye. Thank
Mr.
you all.
Motion passes.
Mr. Chairman, if I might, just for the record, the signatory on behalf of the applicant has the same last name as me. I just wanted to assure you there's no relation.
Thank you, sir. All right, next up is the Economic Development Agreement with Corkin Incorporated. It's an example of the gold bonds that were passed several years ago by the city to stimulate the creation of jobs. And especially happy for my part of view, it deals with a manufacturing company, which is where my first love is all. So if you would, Kathy, please brief us on the Corkin situation.
So the trust had a presentation previously by Corkin explaining the project, but it is to create 120 new jobs. The average first year wage is $48,763. They are located on I-35 North, and they are a manufacturer of highly engineered pumps, compressors, and precision measurement equipment for downstream oil and gas applications. So the allocation that's been approved is $300,000, and this agreement spells all that out in the manner that all of our agreements do, where they will receive the money on a pay-for-performance basis as the jobs are created.
Questions from the trustees? Entertain a motion.
I'd like to move the item, please.
And this is trustee Campos, I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, Amy, if you would call the roll.
Trustee Hooper, how do you vote?
Aye.
Trustee Roth,
Aye.
trustee Stone,
Aye.
Trustee Campos,
Aye.
Chairman McAtee.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you all. From the creating of manufacturing jobs, the next one is a TIF project dealing with the Myriad Gardens. Kathy, if you would please brief us.
Yeah, I think Eric Winger is on the meeting to talk about this. It is for the to bid out the renovation of the Crystal Bridge at the Myriad Gardens.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Eric Winger, Public Works Director for Oklahoma City. I'm happy to update on the item today. This is item 5E. And it is the final plans and specs for the Myriad Crystal Bridge renovation. The project is actually two-part. It's funded both with TIF funds, but also private funds. So it's going to be constructed in 2 phases. The phase that you're looking at today for the final plans and specifications is the public portion, or that was TIF funded. The estimated cost is $2.4 million. And generally the work that's included with this package is going to be demolition, some of the repainting and the replacement of a lot of the infrastructure. The second phase, which is more privately funded and with some TIF funds, is where all the enhancements and improvements are going to actually be completed. So there's 2 projects that are really going to go side by side to complete the improvements, with this being the first phase. Work is expected, this project's expected to bid on May 5th. So upon receipt of bids, the work would begin hopefully this summer. It's expected to be completed later this year. The second phase, which would begin soon after, would be completed in early to summer of 2022 with the renovated Crystal Bridge. With that, there's some alternates that are also included with this bid package, and I can answer any questions that you might have.
Eric, I would presume that during the 2 phases that the Crystal Bridge will be closed to visitors?
Yes, I mean, this really is a complete removal of a lot of the original infrastructure. So it is my understanding that it would be closed. There may be some small components that are open, and we could maybe work and get those responses to you. But yes, I believe it's to be closed.
I think one of the key things is to have visual signage on the outside to give people the vision of what it is going to be like, so that there's not a fear that it's being removed on a, forever basis. A lot of visitors wouldn't understand the time frame.
Let me pass those comments along to the foundation. They, as you know, they operate the facility, and so I think they have a lot of this in their plans. I know there's been a lot of presentations also made to others, but let me pass those comments to them for sure.
Cool.
They're doing a good job trying to mollify the impact. There's going to be a financial impact when they have to close it down. And Rhonda, I think that's the first time I've heard anybody mention this signage. So thank you for those comments.
You bet. Well, we want to make sure that visitors come back and experience the new and improved Crystal Bridge.
Any other comments or questions?
I'm happy to move.
Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Yes, there's some in there. There's a second.
Yeah, I'll second it.
Any comments or questions? Again, hearing none, please show your either acceptance.
Trustee Hooper, how do you vote?
Aye.
Trustee Roth?
Aye.
Trustee Stone?
Aye.
Trustee Campos?
Aye.
Chairman McAtee?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you all. Next up is reports from the Alliance for Economic Development, our own Kathy O'Connor. Kathy, if you would.
The reports from the Alliance for Economic Development for both the first and second quarter were included in your packets. I think I'm just going to go through the second quarter report. A great deal of what we've been doing over the last, well, actually since last March, was managing COVID-19 response for small businesses. So working with the Chamber of Commerce and the city staff and the Alliance staff, we have been managing a series of small business continuity programs that have been funded both originally from the Gold Bond Program and then later by the CARES Act. All in all, we have allocated somewhere around, I would say, $37 million to small business support since the beginning of the pandemic. From the city's program, the Alliance also assisted Oklahoma County in administering a similar program for businesses that were located in Oklahoma County, but not in Oklahoma City. So we administered another $20 million on behalf of the county and funded about 600 or 700 applications through that program. We also managed a program that was funded through community development block grant funds that are provided to the Urban Renewal Authority through HUD. These were micro enterprise grants for businesses with 5 or fewer employees that were located in a low-income census tract or owned by a low-income person that were also located in an urban renewal area. So we received about 100, these numbers are a little bit out of date. We have received a few more applications in the last few months. We've received about 149 applications and have approved about 40 of those. We're still working with several applicants to try to get the necessary documentation to approve their requests. Obviously, the other big thing that the Alliance has been working on is the delivery of a new Homeland grocery store. The groundbreaking for the store was held in October of 2020. Construction is well underway and is proceeding on schedule. We had a little bit of a slowdown for a few days with all the bad weather that we've had, but we've been able to make that up. The parking lots are pretty much all in place except for the final coat on those. The walls of the store are up. It's really beginning to start to look like a grocery store. So, and the city will begin construction on the Senior Wellness Center very soon. MAPS 3, the convention center and the hotel, the Alliance was very involved in negotiating the deal with Omni. The grand opening for the Omni was on January 25th. I hope you've all had a chance to go down and check it out because it is a very wonderful facility with some great restaurant choices, and the level of finish and attention to detail that Omni put into the hotel, I think, is really pretty phenomenal, and it's a great addition to Oklahoma City. The parking garage is complete, and we are still working with the developer on the mixed-use development that will go along the boulevard. There was a great deal of environmental remediation that was required on that site, so we've been working to wrap that up and the developer was getting some of his financing approvals, so we will begin that project hopefully later this summer. On the job creation front, we continue to work very closely with the Chamber of Commerce on support for Tinker Air Force Base and projects that are related to Tinker. Recently, the Trust and the City Council approved an allocation of $13 million from the Gulf Bond Fund to purchase 577 acres at I-240 in Eastern. It's the one large contiguous industrial site that we really have in Oklahoma County. We are working with the Office of the Commissioners of Lands to enter into an exchange agreement so that we can possess that piece of property. We're still working with them on identifying an exchange candidate for that transaction. And then I think the report goes through a lot of the other things that we are still working on. We work on a lot of single-family home development in Northeast Oklahoma City, in particular, a focus on affordable housing, working with Progress OKC, which is a community development corporation that was created by the Alliance to build affordable housing and to create personal wealth in some of our low-income communities. Let's see what else might be interesting. The Hill Development, the Urban Renewal Authority terminated the redevelopment agreement with Dr. Canfield in, I guess it was November. And so we will be issuing a new RFP in April to try to identify a new developer to finish the rest of the vacant property that's left at the Hill. It is probably about half complete from what the original plans called for. And I think that's really pretty much hitting the high points. I'll be glad to try to answer any questions if you have any, but we've been very, very busy with small business support and working on moving some real estate projects forward that got a little slowed down because of the pandemic.
Thank you for that report, Kathy. Any comments or questions of Kathy?
Yeah, Kathy, I know I've said it multiple times, but again, I can't thank you and your team enough for the job that you've done on helping us get these COVID relief funds out there where we wanted them to be placed, helping the citizens of Oklahoma City make it through this pandemic. So just hats off to you and your staff again for all the great work you did in that area.
Thank you. I really don't think we couldn't have done it without the support of the City Council and the Economic Development Trust and the Board of County Commissioners. We've been able to help so many businesses survive, get through this. And I would anticipate that we will be doing some more programs in the future. So I know there's still a lot of businesses out there that are struggling. They're not back up to full capacity in many cases. And so we're still looking at what the future might hold. And I really appreciate all the city staff that worked on these programs, my staff. We've learned an awful lot about the small business horizon or the systems and the businesses that are out there over the past year.
And to echo Councilman Stone, I tell you, I think what you did with this program as a group led the state, if not the nation. So it was very, very, very well done.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions from the trustees?
On this
If
item
not,
or in general?
Go ahead, Jim.
I'm sorry, on this item or in general?
Oh, let's just take this item, then I'll give you a chance for general.
All right, then I'll just triplicate what's been said from Todd and Rhonda. Thank you, Kathy. Really impressive. And I'm humbled to be a part of that type of an effort for people in need. So thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
I should probably say one more thing. We would not have been able to do this without the help of American Fidelity and First Fidelity Bank. They did all of the processing of the applications. They built the website. They built the application portal, and they did all of that, the first part of it, for free. And they just have done way above and beyond. We did pay them a very small fee for the second and third rounds of the program and the minority-owned program, but that a lot of thanks and appreciation needs to go to them. If you know anybody that's affiliated with American Fidelity or First Fidelity, please make sure you thank them for supporting small businesses in Oklahoma City and Oklahoma County.
Thank you, Kathy. I don't hear any comments or more questions. I'll take a motion to receive the Alliance reports.
I'll move it.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please cast your votes.
Trustee Hooper, how do you vote?
Aye.
Trustee Roth?
Aye.
Trustee Stone?
Aye.
Trustee Campos?
Aye.
Chairman McAtee?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you all. You've been given the general manager reports for your study afterwards, so I encourage you to take a look at them. Jim, it's your turn to ask something else, or are you ready to move on?
No, thank you. I was just under trustee comments near the end, so I'm sorry I jumped ahead.
Okay, we'll take trustee staff.
Don't have anything.
Next up is trustee comments themselves. Jim, you're on.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to offer a couple of quick points of personal privilege and say to Trustee Campos, wonderful to serve with you. It's a pleasure. I look forward to a chance that we can meet in person and say hello face to face, but just wanted to say welcome, and it's a pleasure to serve with you. I also wanted to give a shout out to Councilman Stone and a congratulations on his reelection. I haven't had a chance to say that yet, so if you'll forgive me in this group setting. Thank you for your willingness to continue to serve, and congratulations to you. And then I did want to just close with Councilman McAtee. I hope you will call on those of us that want to help you in whatever you decide to do in the next chapter, but it's been such a privilege to serve with you. And just wanted to say congratulations on 2 decades of public service where you beat the odds by leaving with an improved reputation. That's not always easy to do, but you've done it because you're such a good person. So congratulations to you and thank you.
Well, thank you. Most of you know that I'm a Christian and believe that God directs people's steps. And for some reason, he directed me to not run for re-election. So I'm waiting for him to tell me what he wants me to do now. So if you get any clues on that, give me a call. I'll be happy to talk to you. With that, let's adjourn the meeting. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you for your interest, your participation, and your dedication to Oklahoma City. God bless each one of you.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Larry. Bless you.